Hello, fellow music nuts. It's me, Cubby, with another personal spin. Woo. And I'm continuing my David Bowie reviews after doing the rankings. I am currently downstairs because everyone in my house is having a lie-in, so I figured I'd do it quietly. So today I'm doing Low by David Bowie. Pretty cool cover, I quite like it. It's released in 1977 after Bowie moved to Berlin in Germany, just in case you don't know, to basically get off drugs, particularly cocaine. In a word, this album to me sounds kind of like a come down from a wild night of drugs. It's very weird, very, very influential. I recognise that fact. However, upon listening to it, it's got good points and bad points. It's difficult. After listening to it many, many, many times, it kind of feels like a proof of concept for what is, in my opinion, the better album that came next, which I'll also review. There are snippets of really, really amazingness, like Warsaw. I don't know how you spell it because say it because it's Polish, but Warsaw. I suppose it could be Warsaw. And Subterraneans are two really brilliant instrumental electronic synthesizer things that are just like, whoa, that is so cool. Especially bearing in mind it's 1977. However, the other side of the album, which is supposed to be sort of the less experimental sort of rock side, it's a bit sort of like Speed of Life is good, but it's an instrumental. But the lead guitar line is really catchy. Breaking Glass is What in the World is also sort of like, there's not very many lyrics at all, and the lyrics that there are kind of weird. Probably because he was coming down off of drugs, but also because Brian Eno encouraged him to experiment, and I believe they used some weird lyric writing experiment, and that might be why. But like I said, to me it feels like a not so good version of his next album, and sort of like a proof in concept. Like, will this idea work? And they obviously felt it did, because obviously Low was well, it's certainly considered one of his best now, although I have to be honest, I'm not sure why. There are snippets of goodness, like Speed of Life, and Sound and Vision is also really good. And as I say, Warsaw and Subterraneans, but the rest of it is just sort of like, what? So let's concentrate on the good for a minute. Sound and Vision does have lyrics, sort of, but for me, mostly it's the bass line that's really cool. And Warsaw and Subterraneans are really cool. Warsaw, to me, sounds like a rebirth. It sounds like being born again, almost, which is, I suppose, apt, considering he was sort of starting again after coming off drugs, moving to Berlin. It's kind of like take two on his life, because it just got so wild, and he was like, come back down. And that's kind of what Low feels like. It's not terrible, but it's also really not his best, I don't think, anyway. So production wise, it's interesting because obviously they're doing a electronic side and a sort of a band side, for want of a better reason. The band side, he's gone back to the sort of a bass heavy sound. There's still elements of funk here and there, but it's more largely sort of experimental guitar sounds. And on the other side, it's just basically a synthesizer. I'm not really up on synthesizer history, but I'm under the impression that in 1977 there were still fairly new actual synthesizers anyway, and so you could only play like one or two notes together, and despite that, it sounds really good. It does sound like something out of a movie, and I really like Warsaw and Subterraneans. So all in all, it's an okay album with some highlights, but lots of bits that are like not that great. Even on the Reality Tour video, he says this is a song from some album, I forget which one. It's this album. It's called "Be My Wife," and he clearly doesn't like the song, but he's included it anyway. So there you go. That kind of says it all, really. So I'm afraid, even though in my ranking when I ranked it, it was quite high. I'm only going to give it 6 out of 10 drums. Despite being extremely influential and stuff, I think the next album is a whole hell of a lot better. So there you go. I hate to give an album a bad review, but honestly, I've listened to it all week this week, and I can't even make myself think it's that good. It's okay. It's got some good highlights, but it's just lacking. It's lacking. So 6 out of 10 drums. Thank you for watching. I have been Cubby. I am a music nut also. You can catch me on Instagram at a personal spin. It's the same as my YouTube. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I'll be doing more content throughout the week. Health allowing, of course. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.